it's still operates the same way each session. But okay, so here's a couple little tunes that we just created in a new way to create tunes.
Life's a tightrope in a circus act, balancing dreams while the net's intact. The crowd
That's
gasps
when you start
aloud, but I
practicing.
keep my pace. Every stumble adds some grace. Ha ha ha! Hee hee! Laugh! Laughter's the compass on this crazy path. For you, for me. Let me free, opera for opera, comedy for thee. Struggles tap dance on a rainy stage. The script flips quick, it's a brand new page. Go and don't flinch,
He was
just
being so
join the
good up
show.
until we
The
started.
punchlines land where the fears
And
won't
the doors closed
go.
here.
Life's a jest, so grab the mic. Fears the heckler, take a hike. Oh, laugh, hey, laugh. Laughter's the key to escape the wrath. For you, for me, let me free. Opera for opera,
Oprah.
comedy for thee.
There's no difference between opera and Oprah, though. I think the difference.
Why cry in the silence when
Can you see the lyrics?
gifts can sing? Why walk through the fire when jokes have wings? Let your laugh be a song. Let it echo long. Be the melody in the chaos.
No, oh. That's okay. But do the same thing for the other one you pick. I kind of like that country one, but
Having to rewrite opera
where's the lyrics?
songs. Some
Oh,
so sing
pause it.
along, just word me.
I hadn't intended to do another one so quick, but just
Well,
okay. I just want to sing along with it or something.
and it gives you precisely what you wrote,
Okay.
or close to.
That looks so much different than the way it showed them before. It's more squished or something
I don't know.
for some reason.
Having to rewrite opera songs. Some
But
for
then
you, so
you
sing
sing
along, just
fast.
word me. But living
It-
in life, getting through
it-
struggles and strife. Please laugh, laugh, hey, like they're for you and me. Opera, and Glenn, be less skittish. So you can come to my comedy gigs.
They're like, I don't know what this phrase and this stuff is just picked into, but I'm clicking it.
No. Now we're in the Paprika Pogo one.
It's Paprika Polka is what it should be.
Paprika Pogo.
Here's the lyrics for this.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
You said to pick the best two, and I picked the best two out of the four that we just created. So yes, I was probably going to play with the three that
Where's the other one that's like that first one?
like the first one. Well, here, let me... Yeah.
Having to rewrite up. Having to re.
Here's the second one.
Okay.
Life's a tightrope in a circus act,
Yeah, sure.
balancing dreams while the
Click
net's
that if you want to see
intact.
the
The
lyrics.
crowd gasps loud, but I keep my pace.
Every stumble adds some grace.
He
laugh. Laughter's the compass of this crazy path.
For you, for me, let it be free. Opera for opera,
Comedy for thee.
Struggles tap dance on a rainy stage. The script flips quick, it's a brand new page. Glenn, don't flinch, just join the show.
show, the punchlines land where the fears won't go.
Life's a jest, so
Grab the mic,
Fears
fears
the
the
heckler, take a
hike.
hike.
Laugh, Laugh like us, of course. Laughter is the key
to escape.
for you, for me, so let it be free. Opera for Oprah, comedy for thee.
Why cry
I
in the
am
silence
silent when giggles can sing. Why walk through the fire when jokes have wings? Let the laugh be a song, let it echo long. Hear the melody of the I don't know what a song is. Melody, will you wear a thong? Just kidding, no filter. So there. Okay. Sorry, what? Here. I'll give this to you.
Automatically goes to the next.
And I'll have to remember to add to the unfiltered part because I always going to remind people of that. Just for those that have delicate ears.
Charger's still upstairs?
It seems to be the case, yes. Okay, well, I might as well at least go for a little bit longer since
And I'm probably
somebody
gonna have,
just tuned in.
since
And
it's 7:30,
and have a
I'm
history.
probably just going to make it a double header.
I see. Okay. Well, I thought it's nice to take a small break in between or whatever, but we just enjoyed a bunch of time there, so I guess we'll see. So, other than that, though, I really didn't have any ideas, so I need some. I know that it looks like it's going to be tomorrow because it's.
You ever tried asking that AI?
Oh no, it suggests things lately too, but only periodically. And usually I don't have any difficulty, and sometimes other people suggest things too. So I'm glad to have you here. You just missed the music portion, but I can still do music if you'd like. I do have. Okay, you left. Like if I have left the music, missed the music, the rest isn't worth my time. Anyway, I'm tired. I don't know. I wasn't going to roll again, but sometimes life as a podcaster, that's what you do. You just get an idea and you roll with it. So, trying to decide if I want to do some music next. Trying to decide if I just want to chat. Usually it's a bit of both. And then, I'm thankful that I'm still getting, a good number of hours of sleep each night because, it's been a little bit worse lately with the, I guess it's the circulation, the arthritis, the possibly fibro. And I know today, I think it was the first time I noticed, like sometimes I wake up and I'm a little bit sore or whatever, achy, but like my hands felt kind of numb. And that was after only laying for an hour. And I think I slept some of that time too. So, if it's going to start affecting my ability to get my needed sleep, then, see, I'm not on a vitamin schedule. And as Danny was saying too, like, Tylenol, I'm not like popping them like crazy. But Tylenol is something that is not exactly good for you. And so, unlike myself, and so I shouldn't do those. Shouldn't have that too much. But it's like vitamins. They do. I learned recently that you have to have vitamins with food. There's a part of me that largely thinks that it's that they are a supplement. Like, I think that nothing beats, actual food and the nutrition that you get from that. But part of me thinks that, sorry, I'll stop moving around in just a moment here. Got this, that, the other one of that. And I don't know why that felt like the Christmas. Probably because it was because this and that. Like that, a lot of people do like smoothies instead of a meal. Although that's usually using, fruit and vegetables and stuff. So, although I sometimes wonder, is fruit and vegetables better in their purest, most natural form? I'm going to use this new tripod thing I have. I can use it when I'm not got my device plugged in. And it will have to be plugged in shortly because I unplugged it after it was plugged in for a little while. And like I say, this thing drops fast. Now, what is going on with this thing? Oh, I see. Okay. It's got different grooves you can fit it in. So, okay. So I'll have to watch that, and I can plug it in a moment. Just going to get the cord. But yeah, so, I don't know. I know I said that I probably just need to have a better diet and maybe a bit more activity. It's not like I keep pretty active even just at home, like doing the stairs a bunch and stuff around the kitchen. And I mean, I am also fairly sedentary, it's true, but well, these people can do the comments and be struck by that, hopefully. So don't be shy to comment and like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I know it might be a little early for you to decide whether you want to do so. Maybe it isn't, but I welcome you to consider it, and hopefully you will. Curious, always curious when people tune in if it's the first time they've been to the channel and how they've come across it. And I really hadn't intended to podcast because I did do one this evening, but here we are. So here we are. We go in the other room. I wanted to make sure that I kind of kept of that. And it's like the biggest music production one could ever do. So I kind of, I wanted to kind of share those, and then somebody was here, and then I kind of got feeling, I'm a bit tired, but I mean, aside from watching some other stuff, I don't have a whole lot going on tonight, so I kind of feel like podcasting. So here I am. We got two of you here who feel like watching a podcast, and I'm happy to try and do the kind of things that you would like to watch a podcast about. I'm very diverse, I mean, for the most part. So, but yes, I was talking about supplements and stuff like that. And sometimes it maybe takes a while to get used to taking them. And certainly, I've not been taking these when I feel like I'm eating fairly decently in a day. But I eat a lot of carbs. I thought I had a healthy lunch earlier until I thought, well, onion rings they weren't deep fried, they were cooked in the oven, but they're battered. Those little interesting curly fries, because I couldn't decide which one I wanted, and I thought she would, and he did have some. And then we had these paneer burger things. But really, it's a lot of cheese, and I guess dough and stuff like that, and we had it on bread. So it really wasn't as healthy of a lunch as I thought it was. This is right in front of me. This is what I was looking for, actually. So it is. It's hard. It's hard when you have ARFID or you're picky. And so, but like, what would the doctor tell us? Like, eat better, exercise. I mean, right? Does anybody else relate to these kind of things? I have celiac. I have anemia. I have a few other things, but kind of what I'm talking about at the moment, those are what kind of most closely connect to them. I'm also a bit chilly, and all three of you went and wondered, wow. So, but none of you are back. I was going to say, but some of you are back. But nope. Oh, yeah, maybe. Or at least someone's here. I do kind of want to watch. They were live, but she wasn't on the camera at the time. Partly the names make me kind of want to watch them myself, because I know that, although honestly, can't take me take, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. One thing I want to do with one of the I'm talking about mental health and triggers just for a moment. And if you get triggered, let's talk about it. Let's work through this. But I probably won't say a ton on it. But one that I sometimes experience is name-based. Like, we all go through life, connecting with different people, and some of those connections are more positive in our life than others. Some of us kind of leave us with mixed feelings or whatever. And for me, sometimes I can hear a name and it's like, that reminds me of so-and-so. Or yes, I'm sometimes one of those ones who will say, okay, so-and-so, even when that's not their name, because they're doing something that makes me think of a certain someone. If you know what I mean. Then you mean what I know. Just kidding. But, one thing I would like to do, and we can do this with any trigger, is work to replace them. Work to attach different memories to them. And it takes a lot sometimes, because sometimes those feelings are very deep seated, in our being, maybe unhealed, um, or just not forgotten, not forgiven, perhaps. And so, and forgiveness is a huge topic, that seems to pop up. And it's kind of like, not wanting to make the other person think that they were right for doing a certain something. This is almost this thing. I'm almost wondering if I did it differently, if it would be better. This phone proper thing we got. It's almost high enough to have this on it and have the charger going in the bottom of the phone, but it's not quite. So, but yeah, just few more minutes, and I'll plug it in, and then we'll hold it and talk. But yeah, so basically, one thing I'd love to do, and you might be able to help me with this, and I'd be very appreciative, is, and watch, you probably have a username that's not an actual name, and it's like, oh yeah, that reminds me of, well, but it might still, and that's the thing, because this is the thing, like, yeah, we can easily think of a name and then start thinking of all these things, which may or may not be pleasant memories. That's not to say that there aren't pleasant memories, but so I would like to try, and this isn't just about me. I mean, it can be a two-way thing. I may not say my name, but it may help you. It may help you as well. But if you were to comment, it's like, that reminds me of so and so, and this is what I went through, and maybe you'd relate. That kind of thing, if that makes sense. It's kind of a little bit of a very random idea, but it's like, okay, what's my name make you think? And it may be not much, but then we can get to know each other, and hopefully it will make me think, what a cool and lovely person that I've met in the YouTube community. So there's two of you here, and let's see what we got. Other than that, like I say, I had an idea initially that I came on and did. I'm feeling sort of in a podcast mode, but not really sure what else I want to do with it. But yes, my health. Back to that. Whether you're just getting to know me or already familiar with me and may care. And also, I want to say, if Jackie sees this after the fact, I don't know if it's ran through your head, but it ran through mine, even though it's not been very long since you've last been on the podcasts. And I know that you're appreciating them. If you're thinking, I can't not think of my mother now when I see this guy, and that makes me, even though he's helped me a lot, and it this and that, it makes you feel mixed feelings. I'm not always on about that kind of stuff. Like I say, my content is quite diverse, and yeah, I'd love to do again sometime soon. Almost solely musical one. I mean, happy to chat with the people in the chat, but put that stuff a little down on my back. But almost completely musical one. But I'm going to have to gather, with your help, some ideas for that, I feel like. But, yeah, so basically, yeah, I think I'm going to want to sit, even though it's out here. I just have an idea. And also, okay, he has a laptop. Maybe I'll ask for the other device just to see, just to check for comments. Although sometimes it's a bit wonky. Because I'm not sure if there are some coming and I'm not seeing them. But what I'm going to try and do here is, okay, I think this will work. Whoops. What I have done is I have the cell phone plugged in on this little holder thing, and I have it at the edge of the counter. So I think that seems to be working. Yeah, because if people are commenting and I'm not receiving them, I don't want people to think I'm ignoring them. Like that may have been the case with the previous one a little bit. I mean, these devices are old, and sometimes, sometimes there might be a glitch or whatever, but like, usually I'll see them, even, recording it this way, but sometimes I won't. So I don't want to miss anything, that anybody's saying, especially if it's worthwhile and kind and enjoyable. So I'm going to go get the other device to follow the comments on. And we'll do this for a little bit because I've got this set up. And it's also good that it's a bit lower, because then I can bring a chair here. Which one will it be, though? Which chair will it be? Yeah, let's talk. Which chair will it be? I don't know, but you can see. You can tell me. Oh, which chair will it be? Unless, of course, somebody wants to put a comment, even if it's just a hey, what's up? And then I'll know that I'm receiving them. And then I don't have to go upstairs. I mean, because that would be terrible. I mean, he's got the laptop, so I think I'm going to get it anyway. Just in case. I don't know. I'm not going to sing karaoke. I did find out a second menu thing. You can slide on monetize, not monetize. And that would be the only thing about doing karaoke is it couldn't be monetized. But I think I forgot to set it because it's more obvious when you're doing it when I'm doing it from the laptop. So I mean, part of me wants to do that. Part of me is not sure if I have the energy. So again, I'll leave this up to the viewers. So what kind of stuff you might want to have me do in this particular podcast? You know, talk about, sing about, and that kind of stuff. I welcome you because that's a very thoughtful approach to doing a podcast, isn't it? A very inclusive way. I welcome you to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Hopefully the like button isn't glitching. I really think that maybe in the previous one it may have been a little bit. And I'm going to go get that other phone because I feel like I might be not seeing the comment that's being put. And man, I dropped that stuff. Huh? Okay, cool. Hello. Okay, let's see here. What is this? Okay, that's you here. That's what I'm going for. Watch will come back and there is comments that probably. Okay, if I'm not walking, it might be okay to have these on. It's just a little bit chilly in here, even though the heat's on. I had the doors open for a little while, letting air in, so I just have this because I didn't want to put on a full sweater. Just a half of one. I get warm sometimes inside in long sleeves and stuff, it feels like lately, and it's kind of like, oh, okay, what is this about? Hi, James, welcome, how are you? Glad to have you here. Okay, well, that answers that question then. You must have just tuned in because just moments before you asked, I said it can be about whatever you'd like it to be about for the most part, musically or otherwise. I'm also curious how you came across the channel and if it's your first time. It's funny, in somebody else's chat, there was a James with a purplish blue J icon, but they had a last name with theirs. So I guess that's not you. And I must have been in Danny's. No, was it in Danny's? I can't remember whose it was. But yes, what kind of things do you like to watch videos about? I'll see if I can accommodate it. That might be this one over here. Sorry, just kind of. I think that was the best spot that I had this in. Shouldn't have touched it. It's just I'm trying to get it over here. Why won't it balance there as well? Maybe it will, but the lighting. Sorry, I've got the device plugged in. Is that a better view? I think it is, eh? Nice painting. Nice painting to the corner. Kind of behind me. The doorway was distracting. The fridge was distracting. I don't often record quite in this mode, in this spot and that. But I do have my device plugged in. So, yeah, what is this channel about? If it's your first time, is it? I mean, if it's not, then you kind of probably already have a good idea. And I'm in Canada, by the way, if you'd like to say where you're watching from. Any of y'all. But yeah, this channel is about wellness, uplifting, healing, and doing music, pretty much. And of course, music can encompass all of those things as well. I started it off by sharing a couple of song creations, but they're in the device that somebody else in the house is now using upstairs. And then I just felt like I kind of would keep rolling. So I'm trying to figure it out about as much as you. It could be, and some people may say, oh, I am a musician. Some people may say musicians shouldn't do karaoke. They should, and I can play an instrument as long as my arthritis doesn't tell me otherwise tonight. But, and you don't have to be drunk to sing karaoke either. So, I could totally sing a karaoke song if you have a request. It's nice to sing with the actual background. It'd be nice if that could mean monetized, but it just simply wouldn't be monetized. But that's fine. It's not all about the money. Some people may think it is, or about the views. For me, and you can't have anything else with likes and comments and all that without the views. But for me, it's about the comments. For me, it's about the likes and the heart emojis and all that. So, the things of substance and the content, of course, right? So, yeah, if you have some song suggestions, we can look at that. That's not what's his face, is it? I don't think so, because he's on the keyboard. Oh, it is. Well, that's seeing him in a whole different light. I'm not sure what I think of it. That's interesting, though. There's somebody here on this thing I just opened on this stream, which I'm kind of torn in two places. Part of me wants to be rolling. Part of me, is it still James that's here, by the way, or who do we got? Part of me wants to be rolling, and part of me wants to be, I know a little, but scared, wants to be watching this. But somebody just said, play G, A flat, D, F together. Like, I guess one after the other. And that is an interesting chord pattern, and I'm kind of curious what it would sound like. I'm at 24%, so I'd have to go. I could bring the guitar. The piano would probably be hearable from the other room if I did it there. G, A, D, F. Okay. She seems more to be, this guy's wife seems more to be in the chats tonight than in the actual video, reading them and replying and that. And then also, Pam was nice. She said hi to me. I don't think we were already familiar with each other. There is some song requests, but what was those chord patterns again? Where's that comment? G, A, D, F. I'm going to have to do it on the piano because I don't know the A flat on the guitar. So stay tuned to find out what G, A flat, D, F sounds like. Hopefully you can hear it from the other room. I'm just curious, so I'm going to go just play those chords myself. I don't know if they meant to type a different chord, but the F didn't sound good to my ears. Yeah. Truth be told, I am kind of quiet. I am kind of tired and feeling quiet. Some people are like, well, then go sleep and shut up then. Just kidding. Eventually I will. I do that kind of thing from time to time every day. But yes, back to the health thing, I don't know. I might have to book an appointment and see about that. I was suggesting to my friend who's going through some stuff, that plant-based and holistic is always a good option for the most part. And I could stand to do more of that perhaps. But I just keep thinking I'm going to go all the way there, do all the stuff, to be told, well, eat better. I mean, I don't think that there's a med that you can subscribe. Well, maybe there is. I don't know. I don't know. But do you? That's the thing. um, it's partly just getting older, I think. It's partly just sorry, I'm feeling slow. It's been a fairly long day, but other than watching stuff myself, for the rest of the evening, I don't really have plans. So why watch it when you can make it, right? Sorry, thought I had something on my tooth there. So, yeah. I drink lots of water. That's good. Let's talk about life. What do you want to talk about life? I mean, I cover a lot of topics about it. Just one moment. Just one moment. Oh, it's different to do one from this spot. I mean, I do them often enough in this room, but from this exact spot, the wall, shapes of the wall are kind of neat. If I move this way, you got the painting. If I move this way, you kind of don't. And I don't know, it's kind of interesting. We have moved our dog's food dish and stuff over here so that it was easier to. Why did we do it again? I mean, because he sometimes gets some of the kibble outside of his bowl, and that was part of it, is it was getting on the carpet a lot, but I don't know what the difference is between that, come to think of it for a moment, and it getting on the floor here. But so far, it's been a few days. It's kind of working in that location. He's adjusted, so I don't know. But anyway, so I just kind of got to watch, because that's at my feet. So, how's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody's day been? I say tonight, but I suppose it could be morning in some places. It's not super late at night. It's just after 8 o'clock here where I'm at in Canada. But it feels like, and we went through the time change, 2 or 3 days ago, I think? It feels like 9:30 or 10. I've been noticing a lot lately how I'm kind of, and it's good because even people that I'm getting to meet that are in different time zones, we manage to still kind of connect with each other, and the time zones don't have too much of an effect on that, so that's nice. But I've been noticing it a lot lately. I think just because sometimes the days are just tiring and long, even if they're enjoyable, and it's like I'm so ready for bed when it's the time. And so it's kind of like I'm glad that I don't live in places when it's our nighttime, almost bedtime, that are just starting their day. Because my mind starts to go to, I can only imagine just starting the day again without sleeping. Sleep is important. I'm kind of glad that my one friend, I mean, that's part of what makes it work, I guess. My one or two people, one especially that I know from India, he stays up quite late. And sometimes he started watching my podcast at like 9 or 9:30 or 10, which is not super late. And then, well, no, actually, maybe it's sometimes later than that. It's interesting to think, like Maxie's in Germany, he's a part of my day often at around 11 or 12 in the AM/PM. But for some people, it's like he's at the end of their day. And then sometimes I'm right after. And watch AMVB saying, well, but he's not live right now. That's the thing. So what time would it be there then? Probably about that 11 or 12 time that it is here, there, now. Yeah. So anywho, curious to know where people are watching from. At the moment, looks like there's just one of you, so it's not forced, but invited conversation. Also happy if you can give a like, a subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And yeah, let's have a chat. I know things to say. And if you've seen my content before, that doesn't happen all that well, sometimes, but You want me to help you pass the time? Yes, that would be appreciated, please. Needy much? Oh, sometimes it's human. Actually, that does kind of bring up an idea for a topic, perhaps, that might be interesting and one that some of us might want to talk about. Jealousy. G was saying that jealousy is not a good, not a helpful emotion or something like that. And maybe that's true, but I said it's also very human, though. Like, I mean, it's natural to feel jealous sometimes. Um, Interestingly, if I think about it for a moment, I would hope, but understand, if I would hope that people aren't jealous of me, anything that they ever see me doing on here. But in a way, I mean, I don't want this to come across weird, but I could almost understand. Whether it's, the healing stuff that I've been talking about a lot lately, or whether it's music ability, or whether it's that I seem to be in a fairly good mood a lot of the times. It's not that I don't podcast if I'm not, but I'm certainly not always. And these things have taken time to it's not, I mean, yeah, some of it might be natural ability, some of it is stuff that I was probably born to do, but it's not like they just kind of happened and there we are, I got it. It took a number of years. So I'm of the belief that we can all get there. So if that's the case for anybody that sees my stuff and has seen it before, if that's the case, there's no need to be jealous. Now help me not be jealous of you, kind of thing. Of course, I don't know, who's watching at the moment, so I don't know much about you. So I feel free to share what you're comfortable with, and I'll let you know what I think. Or if you'd like to just simply talk about jealousy in general and your thoughts about it, that could be a good thing too. I also realize that we can be jealous for somebody and still happy for them. If we're doing it right, Like there are lots of people that, whether I know them personally or not, that it's like, just a moment, it's like I want to get my other water. This chair isn't as tempting as I thought. Well, that cushion is lumpy, that's the problem. Just adjusting my seating, and you're like, how many cushions do you need? Well, this one's lumpy, that's the thing. So, more than that. But yeah, so basically, I can be happy for someone and say, oh, it's great that they have those things in their life and that they are finding those successes and such and such. I mean, I guess that's another way to ask the question is, where do you think, I'll wait till there's somebody here because it doesn't look like there is right now. Though, actually, I'm thinking of what a lot of people would say, and I don't know if I want to hear that word said or not. It's not bad, but I don't like it. And it's not because it hits a soft spot, but maybe a little bit. And the word I'm thinking of, which I might not say, I wouldn't say that people would be wrong in a general sense, but people in general, that it has a connection to what makes somebody jealous. But I don't think that it's a word that applies to me, even when I'm feeling those moments of jealousy. Just a moment. much of a groove there to rest it in. Yeah, I don't think it's not that. The lighting is kind of iffy, but I like it. It's softer than the actual room's lighting. So I think it's okay. But yeah, basically, I don't think it's a word that would apply to me, even when feeling moments of jealousy, which is a normal emotion that we all feel from time to time. And if you say that you don't, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily accurate. I think that maybe you might then prefer not to. You might try not to, but you still will, at least initially. But yeah, we're going to do some acting games tomorrow, I think, on here, by the way. Acting games on here. So if you have any suggestions based on, like, TV shows that you've seen or whatever that maybe do that kind of stuff, feel free to let us know. And also let us know a time that works for you, and we can try and work with that. I think tomorrow's weather's supposed to be iffy, so I don't think we're going to be doing a ton. Some routine things, but otherwise, we're going to be around the house. But no, back to that. Like the word I'm thinking of, I'm trying to think of a different word for it. Just a moment here. Like you could ask us, your viewers. No, I'd rather bring you into the conversation once I've thought of another word. I just want to see. I have my tablet over here. But what I will say while I'm looking it up and multitasking, take left. That is kind of awkward. Okay, the other words that it looks like could fit it are self-doubt or vulnerability. I guess I don't disagree necessarily, but I don't know if I would connect those to feelings of jealousy as much as I do the word I was thinking. But it's interesting because when I say I don't relate to that word, which I'm relating to jealousy, this word of which I'm not mentioning, if I was to say, do I relate to self-doubt? Do I relate to vulnerability? And again, these are also very human feelings, experiences. I don't doubt. Well, I can be indecisive at times, but I wouldn't say that I'm very doubtful of myself. I'm very aware of myself, and I'm fairly confident, and I am fairly accepting of myself for the most part. So I wouldn't say that I have self-doubt. And I mean, a word I'd rather use for that other one would be bravery, to be honest. But I think I thought of another word. Inadequacy. I think sometimes maybe we feel jealous because we feel inadequate compared to other people. We could explore that together. What you think that means, might be saying, how you might relate or not relate. I'm going to think for a moment and see if there's anything that comes to mind for me to say based on all that. I'm not sure if there is anything other than a lot of people will also say don't compare yourself to others. It seems to be a motto that's pretty popular out there. And it went 2, 0, and then 2 almost right away. I appreciate it if you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the conversation. Happy to have you here. The other individual, his phone may have died or something may have came up for him, or, at the time I was kind of trying to find a topic to go to next, and I asked for suggestions. Maybe he just didn't have any. But now I don't need any, so here we are. I mean, that doesn't mean you can't chat, but nobody's here anyway at the moment. But inadequacies. I'm not sure if I know how to address it from that point without some conversation. But we could say comparing. My feelings about comparing have pretty much been for a long time now that it's not necessarily a bad thing. When we see somebody else with the type of life or things that we would like, so it's interesting that I bring this up while talking about jealousy. Because, now it's back to 2 again. Seems like there might be a bit of a technical difficulty unless it's a different 2 each time when I bring it up in terms of jealousy, because a lot of times I think jealousy can come into things when we're comparing. And honestly, some people say, oh, don't go on social media and see all the vacations everybody's going on and their happy families and this and that and the other. But, I haven't had this additional thought to it, surprisingly, because I think it actually makes a lot of sense. But I haven't agreed with it because I, enjoy social media, and maybe these are people that they can not that I can't, but they can maybe pull themselves away from this site or that site and do other things, and maybe they're a bit more sensitive to it than I am. I mean, I think, okay, cool, or that's fun, that's interesting. Again, do I maybe sometimes feel feelings of jealousy? Sure. But I think that, we could easily experience that not with, seeing things online as well. We could easily experience that because somebody tells us, somebody that we're around or whatever says, oh, I just got back from a holiday at a vacation at such and such, or I just this and I just that, tells us on the phone, tells us in person. I mean, it's such an easy feeling to have. It really is. And it's an easy feeling to have when you're not happy, for lack of a different way to put it, when you're feeling a sense of lacking in your life, or like you've not been able to get enough of what you wanted out of life. That's very interesting, isn't it? So I would say that it's okay to compare when it gives you something to strive for, or when you can do so, I guess, with not entire certainty of how to define it, healthy ways. But my back's just really sore tonight. So I might say I'm jealous of somebody who doesn't have aches and pains, Would that be weird? Or would that be wrong to say? I don't necessarily think so. I mean, but you got to deal with what you're dealing with too, right? Or, at least learn to tolerate it, So, no, I don't think that comparing is necessarily bad. But it can send you down into feelings which, if not worked with, could be fairly unhealthy. I think that's really what it is, right? But I think that even if we still struggle with it a lot, I would think that we're halfway there and that it's a good thing if, amongst having those kind of feelings, and the person was here earlier possibly came back, possibly, I don't know, they haven't said anything, and thought to themselves, I have to stand for a moment, that's what they thought to themselves, and thought to themselves, okay, I guess I've gotten halfway there tonight listening to this guy, so I'm going to bed. Could have been. What about a thank you first, though, right? Just kidding. Well, kind of. But if we can do so, I'm going to wait till there's somebody here. Hasn't been taking that long. And then, yeah, more to say later. It's all good. Sometimes standing makes me sore too, though. So, if we can do so, have those feelings, natural feelings that will come up sometimes of jealousy, of comparing, but still be happy for the other person. And I know it can be hard, when we, and this is why I say I feel like it comes from a place of a need or a desire and a lacking, I think a lot of times, because that's what would make it very hard. Well, it's great that they have it, why don't I? One thing that I've learned a lot in life lately, I think, is that, and it's still a work in progress, and I will wait until somebody's here to hear me say it. I'm not just saying it to nothingness, even though there might be somebody that tunes in afterwards already, amazingly, 50 minutes in. That reminds me, one thing that I would say is that, if I can remember what it was now, I'm talking about feelings of jealousy and what people think about jealousy and what, like I say, that it's a normal feeling, but how do you navigate it? I think that when you are, like I say, from a place of that's not today's, from a place of need or a place of desire or whatever, it can be very easy to, I haven't seen it this way in a while, to, yeah, it can be hard to, it can be easy and it can be hard. Oh, okay, cool, thanks for the like. But I'm just gonna, no, I don't want to turn the heat down, I'll take this off for a moment. Sorry, it's been a long day and I'm a little tired, but trying to express myself here, and you can help me along perhaps. Or leave. It's all good. Or is it? Oh, looks like you're back though. Anyway, there's two of you here. Cool. Glad to have you here. So what I'm talking about, if you don't already know, is basically, and don't go by statistics, go by, is this interesting to you? And if it's not, would you like to talk about something else? I can stop talking about this and we can talk about other things. But we got two of you here for a couple minutes or so far. One now, but anyway, like maybe I could, I don't find this interesting and I don't know what else to suggest. Also, songs are an option too. And then if you'd like them to be on an instrument or karaoke. But yeah, I think, like, we can want to go on a vacation. We can want to have a close and loving family. We can want this, we can want that, because we see other people that have them. I think one thing that's important to do is have the, hat hair, because I took my hat off, is have the hat hair, is have the acceptance, when we don't. There was another aspect to that I can't think of at the moment. The other one thing that I am thinking of, interestingly right now, which could be quite helpful for me and perhaps you in these feelings when we have them, is to see if we can find a way to have similar, even if it's not the same. Like, that was, for them and other people that get to have those kind of experiences, like for travel, for instance. Maybe we can't take a trip for whatever reason. Don't mind my arm crossing. I'm not meaning to give across the wrong message with it. I'm just crossing my arms. To your left, if, maybe it was triggering to you, and I'm sorry, like maybe even though you said that, like my dad used to stand over me and talk like this and shout at me or whatever. Who knows, right? So I'll do it. I don't know. It's just sometimes I feel like I need to hold my body in a certain way. But, yeah, so basically, and maybe the person that just came back is like, I'll stay if he stops crossing his arms. But anyway, basically, like you might want to go on a vacation, but you can't. And lots of people that are going on vacations. Perhaps you could have a special day for yourself locally. Go to things where you live that you don't usually go to. I understand. Again, as I mentioned sometimes on here, sometimes accessibility, getting to things might be a bit difficult. Affording things might be a bit difficult. I've lived in a place before that has had a cultural festival. And it's like different locations. And it's pretty spread out, which helps with the getting to things thing in a way. Can add up cost-wise, but different locations. And in the summer, they, like I said, I've lived in this place before. They have like different countries, and they have performances based on that country. Not that long ago, I went to a Cuban one, and they had some merchandise. They had some stuff for sale, and one thing I saw was a hoodie with Taylor Swift written on it. And so ever since then, I've been slightly surprised that Taylor Swift might be Cuban. I also, not being great at geography, I suppose, thought that Cuban would look more Latin, and there was people dancing on the stage, performers booked as performers that looked more African to me. Not saying that's a problem, just didn't think it was Cuban. So we learn things, right? Now I realize that some places don't have that kind of thing, and like I say, there's different countries, and it goes on for 2 weeks, and it's really cool. When that year that I went to that, when I lived there, I lived very close to one that had one venue the one week, one country, and then another one the next week. But neither of them really interested me, unfortunately. And it's not that one of them was kind of like a Asian theme. I mean, I can eat Chinese food any other time, fairly easily. I knew that there was going to be a lot of loud drumming. And it was unfortunate because it was so close to where we lived. And then, the other one, it sounded like a lot of really oily, deep fried stuff. And then, again, a lot of loud drumming is what I kind of perceived. And I lost the two people that were here for a little while, and I hope that they didn't think that this was me being racist or whatever. Maybe they're like, you know what, I was looking for a way to make my days more interesting and better my days, and maybe they even subscribed and didn't say it. Maybe they rushed off and meant to because they thought, I'm going to try and do what he's suggesting. That's a really good suggestion. I didn't even fully suggest it, but maybe they knew where I was heading with it. Is it really only 8:30? Good golly. Or maybe they didn't, so they came back, because two of you came back at the same time, or are here now, and I welcome you in. Conversation not forced, but appreciated and welcome. So, and it looks like that. But anywho. But no, I think this is brilliant, personally. And again, maybe they did too, and they rushed off to, without even remembering to say that oh, this is weird. Or does that just come in? Dallas, can you hear me? This is bizarre. Just a moment, please. I'm so confused right now. Just a moment, please. Sorry. I'm not sure if I can make sense of that. But we got three of you here, and I might know who one of you is. And it's really... Dallas, can you hear me? For some reason, I'm looking on one device and I'm seeing comments that I'm not seeing on this device, although I do see one person's. You can hear me. This is bizarre. I can't figure it out. I just noticed this. I can't... So I came onto an old account. It's still saved on this device. I came onto an old account and clicked into this one, and that's where I'm seeing your comments, but I'm not sure how you're commenting on it if you're saying that I blocked you, which wasn't intentional, and I'm so confused. You don't need to know our full name, I'll tell you that much. I'm just going to open up the door for some fresh air. And interestingly, I told you anyway. And that's how you found this, so that's kind of odd. And then we have okay, so we have 4 other people here, so I figured out who one of them is. And it also says 3 likes on here and 2 on there. Anywho, technology's odd sometimes. Whoops. So what was I talking about? Where was I? Let's just try and get back on the topic. Just curious. Thought you had said you had some music under... Right. Okay, so you know the name. Just a moment. I'm so confused. Why the... Whoops. Just a moment. I looked but didn't find any. So the other handle is Leading Healing Arts Cheering for Each Other. Maybe I'll talk about that for a moment as well. And it should be a pink icon. What I think is happening is there's an old inactive account that I think that this particular... although I almost remember, now there's 6 of you here, I almost remember there's something kind of... I couldn't make sense of it, and I maybe read it wrong in the Maxi chat, and maybe I did accidentally click something, and I don't know if I'd know how to undo it. But I feel like we're kind of double streaming here. We got 6 people here. How long have you been here for, Dallas? Out of curiosity. It does. Okay, so I'm watching on 2 screens now. And still a little bit perplexed, but anyway. Oh, you did? Okay. People are really going to think I'm talking to myself. No, I'm talking to someone named Dallas Castillo, who just arrived here a few moments ago. Do I have it not showing all messages for some reason? Yeah, I do have it. I don't really know. Just scrolling through. You mean you didn't search it? Anywho, I can still see comments over here too. But yeah, so I guess you wouldn't be the one to ask what was I talking about, get me back on topic. And the other ones I think tuned in afterwards. But if there's a song you'd like to sing, if you don't already sing and do music, if there was a song you'd love to sing, a song you'd love to perform that you think you could do good at, what would it be? There's an interesting question. I ask it of anybody that's watching this. And yeah. Any particular reason? I'm not sure if I like that choice. As Maxie would say, maybe you have another. Haven't heard him say that lately, but he's been doing a lot of originals. Okay, now I'm looking at both screens, so don't mind me darting back and forth a little bit. I love space. Oh, we got 7 over here now, but this one's... Okay, it said 4 now. It says... Yeah, I guess that's true. So 3 came in at the same time. Okay, I'll back up a little bit and give you some space. G is quite into science, and stuff like that. And that I don't know. That's why I'm asking. There's the space. I don't know if I want to do that. Can't think of. Oh, what about Drops of Jupiter or If You Believe? 5. They put a man on the moon, but this still says 7. Man on the moon. Now that says 5, 7. I'm so confused. If you believe, none of this. Drops of Jupiter? Okay. Well, I'm sure glad that I figured this out, although I don't know what I was doing on this device that brought me to seeing this person that I can only see under this device. It's very strange. But okay, why don't we do Drops of Jupiter, and then I might honestly wrap up. It's been an hour. I'm tired. We got 4 of you here, though, so I don't know. Do you want it on the guitar or the piano? I'm going to have, yeah. And the other 3 of you, don't be shy. Piano, okay. The grand or the keyboard? Please, you're like, I hate guitar. Oh, either that or you're like, I already saw Maxie on the guitar. I saw one guitarist, but that's all I needed. Okay. This device is at 45%. So that's good. Keyboard. Great, because it's a new thing. And we just did a podcast. Sorry, I'm juggling devices. We just did a podcast that we were trying to figure out a feature of our new keyboard. And it really looked like we knew what we were doing. Not. But hopefully, do you have a favorite genre? Would you like to hear this song in a genre other than the one that it was written in for a unique cover? And if so, what genre? Please don't say metal. Anybody. Like, shoot, I was going to say metal. Well, the other one reason, aside from that I'm not big about it, you have a podcast, you're watching it. So that's an interesting question. And you don't seem like a bot, so that's a very interesting question. Although some people hear podcast and they hear audio only as what that means. But not me. Podcast. Because why have just audio when you can have audio visual? That's so my style. So if I'm just doing this one song, maybe, I will have to move that chair back over here, but maybe I will do it on this bench. I classify podcast as, yeah, I don't know why people do that, but they do it. Okay, so I have 3 devices in front of me now. Borrowed G's phone, because he's got the laptop. Borrowed, let's review the name. There was a name I saw a little bit above yours too. I'm not familiar with who that is, but they didn't say much, so it's all good. They're welcome to say more if they want to, but anywho, basically, yeah, if I'm just doing this one, then it should be fine to not have the chair with the back. I feel like I was sitting in it anyway. I feel like I need to move around a bit. But yeah, why do you think you it's not like there's not a lot of just audio podcasts out there, but on YouTube, I guess there's that too. But okay, what am I looking for? Okay, Drops of Jupiter, so you say? Funny, because I think I was thinking about Jenny the other day, and you're like, who's Jenny? Cousin of mine who passed away in an auto accident. For some reason, there's a song by Train that makes me think of her. Okay, I shouldn't have done that, because now I can't get back into it. Sorry, I'm going to follow the music on this if it lets me. Do you have a specific genre you would like to hear it in? Because this thing has styles. And don't say the genre you think it is, but a genre you'd like it to be. And I'm going to pull up the chords for it here. And we think what we were trying to find earlier, again, I don't have a preference, that's why I'm asking. what we were trying to find earlier, I think they were the built-in songs, and then if you know the chords for them, they're basically saying they're style presets that would go good with those songs, but you still have to be playing the right chords. And someone would say, well, it'd be silly to do a song with the wrong chords. And what I mean by it is that it's like you'll see what I mean when I start playing, and when you hit a certain note, rock, okay. That's actually, I think, the first I guess that's the first category of categories. I know, you're like, this is getting complicated. We're getting very, very close. Within rock, we've got British pop rock, classic 8-beat, 60s rock, hard rock, rock shuffle. British pop rock, okay. I appreciate your help in putting this together with me. I think that's one of the ones that... Let's go with the hard rock. Where was it? Hard rock. Okay. Because the British pop rock, I was looking at that one earlier tonight, and it sounded like a very standard preset. I accidentally typed drops of Jupiter. Would you like to go to Jupiter with me? I've heard the last name Jupiter before, by the way, just so you know. I don't know why you really know that name and type things like that, but this and that, but... Okay. Got 3 screens here. I'd like to go to Canada, anywhere in particular. I guess you've never been, but you remembered I said that. Now that... I think that'll work. The tempo might be a bit too fast. And for some reason, I can't do a full chord. I don't even think I can do the whole chord from center C right beside it. Do you play music, by the way? Where would I recommend? To be honest, I haven't... You might be asking the wrong Canadian as far as that goes, by the way, because I have... And feel free to like, and I'd be curious if that pops up here, but I wouldn't know for sure because... Oh, hi. Hi. Squid says Ronald's dog. Glad to have you here. 41%. This one's much better. But I'm not rolling on this one, and I have to remember that. I'm just viewing your comments that I can't see on the other one for some reason. But, yeah, I haven't seen much of Canada myself, even though I live here. It's a big place, to be quite honest. Yeah, I'm not the most well-traveled individual, so... it's weird. This one says 4 likes, this one says 3. I'm so confused tonight. But anyway, you are helping make the podcast, though, so I appreciate that. I feel like I'm seeing me in double. But anyway, and I am, kind of. Anywho, so, I hear that BC is quite nice, Banff is quite nice, the West is quite nice. I heard most people live in... A lot of people do. I don't know if I'd say most. I am originally from a place called Windsor, Ontario. I don't know if I'd recommend that. It's just your standard city. I don't remember there being anything that interesting about it. I know that my dad used to do carriage drives, horse carriage rides there in the 80s or whatever. Yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know. And that was, but they haven't done that in ages. I mean, the guy that owned that restaurant that it was connected to, I know this sounds really odd, right? It was called the Tunnel Barbecue. It was fairly near the casino. I mean, there's always cool things like concerts or whatever and this and that happen at places, but... Oh, hi! Wow, it's so weird. I'm seeing myself on 2 screens and I'm not used to it. 38%. We got 6 of you here. We also got Salvia AS, but I want to be focusing most on this one because this is the one that's recording it. doesn't really matter what it looks like on this one as much. The tunnel. Like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And man, it's pretty accurate and I appreciate that. I remember you from the other morning. It's funny, I looked up ASMR. I've heard of it, obviously. But I've heard of it. But I wasn't sure, and it was interesting because I was talking about health stuff, and there could be a kind of a connection to that, too. I'm tired, but it's going all right. How's it going for you? And Sylvia, is that your first name? It sounds like Sylvia. Or like Sally plus Sylvia. Sylvia's mother says Sylvia's busy. What was your favorite place? Okay, sorry. Like I say, one particular person, for whatever reason, her comments aren't showing here. Everything else I can do from here, but this one's the better charged device. Tunnel Barbecue. Yeah, I've definitely heard of it. Sounds nice. Yeah, I think they closed. Though, from what I recall hearing. They had the greatest brownies, with ice cream. Obviously, they were famous for their ribs, I think. It wasn't actually a tunnel. And it wasn't actually a barbecue. Just kidding. I don't know. I haven't been to it in so long. So long, boom. I got my hopes up. It's kind of late here in the UK. Oh, okay. What part of the UK? Are you okay? Just kidding. I don't mind a little British every now and then. I was talking about haggis the other day. Somebody thought it was Dutch. And I said, I don't believe so, but it's definitely Scottish, British. Yeah, G makes soundtracks with bowls and flutes and piano and stuff, singing bowls. It kind of sounds like it would be an all-you-can-eat. Oh, by the way, I'm here all the time. Try the buffet. It's my comedy line. Near Manchester, haha. A bit of a rougher accent. Oh, really? Hey, okay then. Sorry, I'm not great at accents sometimes. Or maybe I am, I don't know. You tell me. 31%. Kind of like it would be an all-you-can-eat. I guess so. I don't want to get your hopes down, that's for sure. My brother lived in a place called Hackney, something like that. And now he lives in France. Well, I'm just mentioning one of the things G uses for sleep tracks. And please, never, just stick with the initials. We appreciate that, even though one of you knows the first name. That's not the loudest one. I want the loudest one I can get. Give it to me, baby. Woo! That was not meant to come across a certain way, but if it did, because now my mind's in the gutter, unfiltered. That's me. Welcome. Seven over here. Well, that one feels neat to do that with. So there you have it then. They come from Nepal. Nepal. Those aren't drums. Those are singing bowls. Is this an ASMR channel now? Sometimes. Like I say, it's very diverse. It's a little bit of a lot of things. Not everything, but a lot of things. I just saw something jump there. Or was it me moving? Like I say, this one that I'm watching it back on, there must be a bit of a delay, because it seems like my movements are more expressed than usual. I don't usually express my movements, I just do them. Did I hit that heart, or did you? Okay, this is really distracting. But Dallas is chatting, and I don't want to miss your chat. Does somebody know how to unblock someone on YouTube? And does somebody know how to do it? Because sometimes it seems like I can't find the option. And, if you're here, there's 5 of you here, I know who 3 of you are. I hoping that you're enjoying being here, and that's why you're here. If not, and you're just here judging me or whatever, you can skedaddle. Find something better to do with your time. But I know who's enjoying it, so I don't even know how to block people. Yeah, it seems to vary. Don't forget to like, and I'm pretty sure you've all subscribed and hit the notification bell, or at least the ones that are talking with me most. I have no idea how to unblock people. It happens to me all the time. I mean, sometimes I am intentionally doing it, but it seems to, or sometimes there's only a hide user option. Usually works. It seems to really vary depending on what device you look on and who's. I don't know. It's really odd. But I'm asking because I'd really rather have all of you, because I have two of you on this one. Well, three actually. I'd really rather have you all on the same one. It's bugging my eyes out to look at both. Like I say, I'm going like this on the one, and I don't think I'm doing that otherwise. And it's really, like it's really. And so like really, it is. Oh, do you mean like not recommending the channel anymore? Well, nobody would ever want to do that with mine, I know that much, but a game store, like board games or sports? You know, to be honest, I haven't lived there for 18, 19 years, and the last time I was kind of in the area, and there's a lot of small towns around it, which I was kind of in more, was 2019. And I don't hate board games. I better say I don't hate sports. I don't entirely, but I would never go scouting out a store for them, so I couldn't tell you. 21%. I'm going to have to plug this in soon. So should we try and squeeze drops of Jupiter? Should we try and squeeze a few drops of Jupiter into the whatever we squeeze it into? Dallas is like, I completely forgot we were going to do that song. Oh. Do I want to be honest? This is YouTube. But there's three of you here. You like me, accept me. Hopefully you won't hate me for my answers. And nobody else is here right now, so I'll say it really quickly. Here's the thing. I don't have cable. I find sports often very loud, and you're saying, well, you're very loud. What's the difference? I find them hard to keep up with. I can keep up with myself. So I'm not really into, I mean, hockey, I can barely follow the puck. And I think I have good eyesight. It just moves so fast, and it's so tiny. It's true, I find a lot of sports kind of aggressive. So I was talking to someone who made me think of baseball the other day, though, or this morning, in a very interesting way. Let me tell you a story. I don't think we're going to get to the song just yet. In fact, this might be the long party, and we're going to have a belated birthday dinner too, but the long party we meant to have the other day, this one's doing a bit better, so. I am? How do you know? I guess the movement isn't matching. I'd be curious to check out your content, Salvia, by the way. I was just about to jump into a topic aside from doing the song, and now I can't remember what it was. Care to help? You're like, no, not really. Oh, right, sports, right. We've got 5 people here, and I'm not familiar with some of you. You're like, okay, this makes sense. Or doesn't. But maybe this helps it. Just kidding. But hey, you know, I don't mean to be stereotypical either. Not even typical. I'm not even aiming for typical at this point. You're like, oh, how typical of you. Okay, I guess no. Anyway, okay, I need this. I need this because I need to see if Dallas, because when I went back and came back towards, it was at a different part of the, that's confusing and annoying, but okay, sorry, I don't know. As long as you're not getting a bunch of advertisements for Grammarly or whatever. I gotta plug this in. You might briefly lose me, but I'll be back on the screen in just a few seconds. Or it might not drop it at all. Glad I figured this part out. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And we got Siggy here. You can come with Rose, it's all good. I can call you what? Not late for dinner, okay? Promise? Okay, I should be unmuted now. Because I did see it selected on here, but then I unselected it. And I don't even... Okay, we can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Good. How about now? Good? Okay, good. Copyright of that advertisement. Yeah, but it's so old that it should be fine. And if not, we all make mistakes. Good, I'm fixed. I was waiting for the day. Not, not the way they refer to it with pets. I'm sorry. Did I mention that I don't have a filter? If not, you've just found out. But I'm pretty sure I did. I think I even worked it into the title. Clear as crystal. We actually recently got some crystal bowls too. They're a little bit more fragile. And he wants to sell them in the set of 6 if we ever did, which is like really expensive. But maybe check those out. I'm sure Salvia, if she's still here, knows about those. And I guess it's Dallas's 4th like that isn't showing here. So see, sometimes things aren't completely accurate. If it's a glitch or they just aren't. So all of you imagine this has 4 likes. If you seem to be enjoying being here. But anybody that, yeah, anyway. The audio seems to be a little bit better. Maybe it's just me. I think it's just you because all I did is bring the devices over here. And plug this one in. That shouldn't have really changed it. I will try and do that one song before I wrap up. I almost want to do it now, but this was getting low. It may have been able to squeeze in the song, but I was just too much enjoying the conversation. So, looks so bright there. Really, it's just the light of our stove. The light of the silvery moon. That's all. I'm here, and I'm pretty bright, if I do say so, so I guess there's that. And you're pretty bright. You're all smarties. Some of you might be M&Ms, and my brother has performed on the same stage lineup as Eminem, Alanis Morissette, and somebody else famous. Did it break for you, Dallas? The sound? What time is it there? Here, there, and everywhere? Well, that's actually something interesting. So, you guys are spelling break wrong, the both of you. What's wrong with you? Either that or you're mimicking each other. It's all good, though. That is a way you can spell it, but not in the way you're meaning it, I don't think. Just a moment. What's he doing? Anyway, no, I had a very interesting... do you guys believe in the afterlife? You guys believe in the afterlife? Is that something that you... Because I was reminded... Cool. I was reminded of... You mimic me how? I know in a good way, so I'll be okay with it, but how? Also, squid/wellness dog / I hope a different animal at some point. Just so you know, there is a guy that follows, and there's 5 of you here, who has a certain C word. Oh, okay. I thought you meant me. Who has a certain C word in his username. But he's not bad. He's 18, and I do and don't feel like that's why maybe he's a little bit, I don't know. He's great and everything. I'm not here to talk bad about my viewers. That's not something I do. It's just that there was something that I had to mention 2 or 3 times, and I'm still not sure he grasped it. What question? Anyway, I'm still not sure he grasped it, and I'm not sure why. And there's a lot of smart young people out there. There certainly is, and they're very diverse, and they have diverse friendships, and of course, bullying is still a thing, unfortunately. But they sometimes know more than the older adults about a lot of things. They know it, but do they understand it? I guess that's the thing. Oh, right. What don't you do? Not grasp. What don't you do? I'm sorry. Talk about my viewers negatively. I either like you or I block you. It's that simple. I do think that I don't understand the ones that don't. I don't completely understand the ones that watch but don't say anything. But I'm glad that they're here. And it'd be nice if they did feel comfortable to say something. But anyway, no, he's great though, and I'm not even sure if he's going to realize it's him that I'm mentioning. But that's so one of you believes in the afterlife. Anyway, the reason why I ask is there was somebody from my youth who, in my two ago, I think, 2 podcasts ago, but today. No, it's just that sorry, I'm looking at both screens. But anyway, that visited me in that way, and that's not the first time I've had that kind of experience. But with him it was, and him and my parents and his wife, when I was young, were on a baseball league together. So when you mention sports, I mentioned that, and that's actually an example of replacing a trigger, because there's also kind of another one connected to, well, 2, maybe 3, actually, believe it or not. I just have to change my seating here. Ugh. So anywho, but no, I have a spouse, yeah. Can make presumptions, but 5, yeah, okay. And Salvia, are you still here? So I can account for at least 3 of you, I think. But I can't remember. I almost can, but I can't. It wasn't that long ago. But basically, yeah, it's just like, yeah. That's right. Thank you. So we have 7 of you here. I'll get back to the sporty topic in a few moments here. But is there any questions you guys have about the afterlife as far as that topic? You're like, why? Yeah, why'd you ask us about it? Well, I just told you. I had a visitation, and it was lovely. Oh, sorry, I meant to say that. 9 o'clock, just a few minutes after 9 o'clock in the evening. It's interesting, though, because when I was doing the previous video, and I said some things that I felt may have been for a certain someone that was watching, they didn't make it super obvious whether it was or wasn't, they themselves. Have to go, be back soon. Okay, I might be done rolling by then, but you're welcome to yeah, we have the same time zone as Texas, actually, or some places in it, at least. I might not still be rolling when you come back. I'm glad to have had you here. And which one of these am I recording on now? Oh, right, yeah, sorry. But I have them as close to each other as I can get them, pretty much. But you're welcome to come back from the 132 mark, or check out some of the other ones afterwards. It's always nice. And I'm not fond about squids, no offense. I mean, they're kind of gross and creep me out, to be honest. So maybe think of a different animal to go by. I don't know. Just a suggestion. But anywho, and I looked. It's an old device, but still, it should have updated the time since the time change a few days ago. And it was like 2 hours off, and I thought, was that saying the time where that other person was? As like a sign that, maybe I'll find out later if they say anything. It was maybe a lot for them to process at the time, but that I find out that we're 2 hours time difference from them or whatever. Because I can't think of why else it did that, unless it just didn't change, but I think it had. I think it automatically would, and I seem to remember, I mean, it's only been a few days, so maybe, thanks for the heart there. What do you think of American politics currently? Have you seen anything going on? Well, it's hard not to, right? If it's not obvious by the way I am, I'm nothing like Trump, so, I mean, not really into that guy, but there's 5 of you here. I celebrate. Oh, good. I was worried he might be a Trump supporter and I might have to hate him. Sorry. And I mean, it's okay to have differences with people, but there are exceptions, I would say, right? Yeah, I don't know. There are people that are trying to do so much good in the world that are, thankfully starting to get recognized for it more than maybe they have been. I'm an example. But, and he's not, and yet he's got all this exposure. and it's like it doesn't feel right when you think about it. I haven't verbalized it that way before, but like I don't get it. But speaking of having differences and sometimes that being okay and meaning that we can still get along and be friends if we take the opportunity to try to. And sometimes it's when somebody has power or is in management or whatever, then they misuse it. It's true. But, there was a cool show that he had back in the day. I watched it a few times, but not much, called The Apprentice. Now I would never watch it because he's involved in it, even if it was back then. I don't know what he was like back then. I don't know what makes him want to be like Hitler, for instance, but whatever. Anyway, but I don't know which one of you had asked about sports, but I do think it may have been Dallas and yeah, Cowboys, woo! Sorry. But also, yeah, Cowboys, woo! You're like, what's the difference? I don't know. Do you have any guesses? You're a cowboy? I used to be. Could have been a cowboy, could have been the rodeo. I don't know the rest of that song, but I could have been a cowboy. My dad worked with horses when I podcast in the other room. I don't know what... This is really lovely to have you here, Dallas. I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm doing this on my other devices, unless I can figure out how to undo what was done in connection to you so that you can... Because this is where I do them. I guess this is the way to do it. The only thing is during the days when I'm having a slow, boring day and trying to pass the time, actually I can switch over. And that might be a little bit easier having the laptop and the... I don't think that would reach them very quickly, and I don't think I'd like to get much of a response. But no, I can just... I think I might know what I have to do, so I'll do it. So I'll do it, and I'll view it one way on one and record it on the other, and I think that'll work. Let's just go with that. But anywho, there's part of me that wants to be very honest with the three of you that are here, because that's not a super large number, and I know who one is. The other one, who had to leave briefly, may have still stayed on screen, or kept it rolling, and they're like, wait a minute, did he just say something I relate to? I gotta come tell him. I mean, who knows? Well, I mean, I'm a very honest person, sometimes maybe too honest, but we are here for honesty. No, basically, you know how I'm more into sports? Is the athletes are hot. And I went to a theater thing a while back, part of a festival, and there was a girl that played hockey. And that you hardly ever hear of that these days, or at least I don't. I actually got recently a pair of skates that I saw laying outside somewhere. I saw them in two different spots. And I don't know who they belong to. They look too tiny for me, and I don't know if I would ever find myself skating. But that was a very interesting, inspiring play. Maybe me and G will talk about it tomorrow when we're doing our theater improvisational thing. I'll try and remember to do it this way. If we're the same time zone, it would probably be earlier than this, maybe by like 6 or 7 hours. But we can maybe try and do it so that you'd be able to enjoy it, and we can. And if we're both involved, then yeah, then I mean, I'm doing it this way. He's got the laptop up there, so it works. Yep, in our neighborhood. Yep, you betcha. We have this saying here: "You betcha, sweet potato," to ourselves or the dogs, or to each other rather. But anywho, so yeah, basically, athletes are hot. Sometimes they are a little too aggressive with each other, and or I don't know. I don't. No, you're not talking to the biggest sports fan or the most Canadian. Just kidding. But at the same time, you know, if I was invited by one person to watch the game at their home and good food and good drinks and their good company was involved, I could probably sit through it. I could probably sit through it. And then they might look over at me and say, I think you're enjoying this a little too much. No, actually, I never have. I never have. I know that's wild and surprising, but it's true. Have an ex that's quite a skater, though, and she really... It's like just when I thought I had you figured out. She really does competitions and stuff, and she's actually... It's fine, it's all good and everything. She's a little on the heavier side. I got rollerblades last... I did try that before. My legs went in 2 different directions, and I thought they were going to, like, come off or something. Rip Jeff. Oh, Jeff, there's been 3 examples recently. Sam, I'm not sure if it's a complete write-off. I guess I'm not sure what Jeff Barber is, though. But Jeff, we reconnected. Hadn't seen him since my youth. I'm now early 40s. And as of recently, and he's pretty accepting, but he's very old-fashioned. He prefers phone calls over digital communication, and it took him a while to get to realize that sometimes I might prefer to talk in writing, in emails. I should send him the YouTube channel. That might be cool. But he's also very big. Teachers, when you're a teacher and you have marking to do, this reminds me of the very deep special podcast. I thought I'd said the word bros in the title, but it's Unique Connections, and I forget what it was called exactly, but it was my longer one from today. If I was just to say my longer one, that could be more than one of them. But anyway, he was a child and youth worker I had when I was young, and we reconnected about maybe... It's interesting because I had been thinking about him occasionally and wondering about reconnecting, and I found out how to via his school's website. There was an article or whatever, and there was when I found out what the school was, I emailed them, and then he emailed me from his work email. He doesn't like to take his phone with him when he's golfing, and I think, what if something happened to one of your family members? Yes, that's what I said. So that, and I tried to tell him once, I can't remember exactly what I said, but he didn't entirely agree. But you can't make someone. You can't, So that's fine. But he was supportive of my lifestyle, and why not? It's not like it's that bad, right? What bothered me about it is, like I say, if either of his kids who are in their 20s, or his wife, or any other relative or whatever, he didn't like to be interrupted. I almost died on a golf course. Really? When my grandfather passed away, I thought, he loved golfing. He had to stop around the last 2 or 3 years of his life, 3 or 4, 4 or 5, 5 or 6, no, 2 or 3, 3 or 4. But I thought, wouldn't it have been interesting if he died doing his favorite hobby? G's doing his fitness dance routine right now, and sometimes I've wondered, if that's how and I hope not anytime soon. I was downrange, and they drove it before we moved. Yeah, that's how I read it, because it's a mild typo, but I'm not sure I'm understanding. I was downrange, and they drove it before we moved. I'm not entirely sure what downrange means, and I'm confused. But anyway, why was I talking about Jeff to begin with? Why did this all come up? Do you remember? Hopefully. But speaking of that, would you like to see me channel for a moment? And do you agree about the holidays, by the way? I hope you do. Otherwise, we might not. You might have to just hit the ball at us or further down the range. And then there's the Price is Right game, the golfing game. We have somebody across the street from us who reminds me so much of my aunt. And actually, there was a World Series thing, which I think, and the news covered it, and she was in the background getting photos or whatever of just it was like a banquet room or whatever that was, I guess, showing it on a big screen. And also, she golfs and curls. My aunt used to do that. She looks like her. She kind of acts like her a little bit too. It's like kind of odd, to be honest. But anyway, but not channeling wouldn't be. If you'd like me to do that, you would possibly find that interesting. I can't believe I've had this much energy. I'm gonna sleep well, that's for sure. That's for sure. So yeah, basically GPT is what I am. One of the things I am. So. And have you ever seen anybody channel before? I mean, I have my own unique style. It's unedited, you know. I mean, when we watch the ones from the TV shows, if you do, Dented the Green we were on. Ooh. If you watch any of them that do it, you know, you're seeing a small snippet of it. Do you even know what I mean by channeling? Like grabbing the remote, the universal remote that doesn't control the universe, not even remotely? Exactly. What do I mean? Angels. That's what I mean. Sorry, I'm looking at this screen more than this screen because the one who's chatting most is only on this screen. And I don't know why. I might know why, but I may have figured that out. But I still don't know how to unblock yourself. You don't believe in angels. Unless the time is right for you, I have a dream. I'm glad you don't mind that I'm looking a little bit off that screen. Is this better, maybe, I wonder? Ironic, I just moved it to the other side of this one. I thought you'd said you believe in the afterlife, didn't you? I mean, how can you believe in the afterlife but not believe in angels? It does not bother me. Did you mean to say you do believe in the afterlife? In it, you do believe in angels? I hope so, because they've been coming into things a lot lately. In good ways, in lovely ways. Are you related to Cleo, by the way? Yeah, I've known, well, I know of, but I've personally known a lady named Alice. Maybe we'll talk about her sometime. Something like a ripple, like your life is touching the pond and you have no control over the ripple that goes from that. That's a neat way to put it. Really? Okay, I was confused then. I thought Geo. And so, I mean, she kind of got it and kind of got that I was making a bit of a silly joke. But I thought Geo was her, I thought Geo was her, was her husband. So, okay, so you guys are in a, okay, Dallas, is that, I've been thinking I've been talking to a woman this whole time? Not because of anything you've said. Maybe because, like I say, I've known two. One of them I just know of, and the other one I know is a female, Dallas. So I was assuming that you were as well. Maybe I shouldn't have, or maybe you are, and I'm okay if you guys are in a same-sex relationship as well. I relate to that. If you live with then you better put a ring on it, even though it's very materialistic and expensive. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Sorry, don't mind me. Put your hands up. Anyway, I just gave you a couple things there to process and possibly say something to, so I'll slow down for a moment. And then let's go back to angels, right, don't we? Angels in the outfield. Just kidding. I haven't seen that in ages. Again, there's no particular reason why. Yeah, well, I did say again. Dallas, are you still there? I think if Cleo's your wife, you should be hopefully on the same page with this, because, you know, a similar thing happened with her, which is, I guess, how we, yes, what? Oh, you're still here. How we, well, I'm sometimes using the other one so that I can see certain ones, like I say, right? And so and I know some people, but 4 people are not minding listening, I guess. She was once on a couple of my podcasts. One of them was actually kind of on a deep topic. I'm not going to get hugely into it right now because it is deep, but suicide. And if you are experiencing feelings of that, how much my heart goes out to you and how much I'm willing to chat with you. This is a shared channel, and if it's not during the live, a comment comes in and G sees something deep like that, but also knows that I have a pretty good ability, even though I have my struggles sometimes, to try and support people and help them. And appreciates me getting the opportunity, even, with hard things like that. So, I mean, I'd rather, even though heaven's a lovely place and we got to respect your journey, I'd rather that if you need to reach out and talk about something that you do, and I would love you to give me the opportunity to do that. And then if you'd rather go with other options, you can do that too. But I'm a pretty diverse, pretty empathetic, pretty laid back, non-judgmental kind of person, if you couldn't tell. And I mention this all because, like I say, Cleo that we're referring to, that was something that she had watched. That's the only one I think that I remember her on. Melissa was on a couple. So Dallas, are you a man or a woman? Man, I feel like a woman. Shania Twain was actually from Windsor, Ontario. I just recently learned. And I just only recently thought to myself, well, of course she feels like a woman. She is one. But then I thought maybe she just feels very feminine. Maybe sometimes she feels more like a tomboy. What's the face about? You think I was born with it? 9:25. Hola. Hey, you're walking around? You're like, yes, I do live here. I'm going to walk around time to time. Just take a good look at my face. I see the smile. I can't figure out what that emoji, how you would define that emoji, and did you mean that one, and why did you put it? And then you put that one again. Are you trying to put a different one? I'm so confused. When you for me, when you call my name, I get wings to fly, and I know I'm alive. What's going on, Cleo? You're really confusing me. Can you maybe stop putting that emoji and tell me why you're doing it? Because I'm seeing the same one 3 times, and I'm not. It's not a smile. It's not a smiley. I am Dallas. I knew that much. Okay, I think I get what you're saying, though. And there's nothing to be mad or whatever about, because you're great. You're fabulous, Dallas. You may have misheard or misunderstood, but okay. Man, but you act as if it's a bad thing. You're like, oh yeah, I married her. I'd never want to be her. Pisses me off and annoys me most of the time. No, just kidding. That's like me pretending what you might say. But maybe not. But don't we all say that about our partners sometimes? I don't know. I know earlier today, me and G had a moment. What's with that face? Why do you keep putting it? I'm so confused. It's making me feel a little awkward. I'm really enjoying chatting with you, though, and I don't want to. What I was going to say, actually, is that I really enjoy chatting with you, but I don't want to. Just kidding. what I was going to say, and I get this, I suppose, and this would be very interesting to learn, and again, pardon me if I'm wrong, but when you said, oh, wait, sorry, no, so you feel like I called you Cleo, so that's why you're saying I'm Dallas. I thought you were going to just say, I don't really strongly identify with one gender more than the other. I thought that's maybe, what's going on? I grow tired, must rest. Goodbye. Are we okay? Are we good? That's not a smiley. If you're thinking it's a smiley, are we okay and are we good? Anyway, I sang Celine Dion because apparently one of my friends from my younger days as well used to like Celine Dion and ride around on a golf course and with the radio playing, and he's passed away. There's some interesting details about that. Well, not interesting, but ironic in some ways. And well, I hope that you check out my other live streams at some point and let me know what you think of those. But I just want to make sure. I want to go to bed knowing, are we okay with each other? And if not, let's get there. Because you almost sound annoyed and such at me. And to the 4 people that are watching and thinking, I'm liking what this guy's saying. He seems nice enough and this and that, but he's looking off to the side oddly or whatever. It's because this one particular person, I can only see her comments on my other device for some reason. And it says there's 4 watching on that one and 2 watching on this one. Oh. I don't know. Dallas, are you still there? Please, yeah. Because we've enjoyed chatting with each other, so I want to make sure that all is good. Other than that, I'm pretty tired and ready to wrap up as well, though, so... But this is kind of the only place where I feel like we could do this. Unless I do it via Maxis. But I'd really rather just do it here. Okay, we've got 1 person watching. It says 2... Oh, right. Well, okay. I don't know if something's going on there, or if you're just trying to figure out the best wording for whatever you're trying to write. Maybe don't think too much into it, because I'm really getting curious and wondering, and maybe just send it on through, and if I don't understand it, I'll let you know. And sometimes my sense of humor may sound like I'm putting words in people's mouth too, by the way, because I was going to be like, I'm just kind of wondering if she's just sitting there saying, I'm not writing anything. Yeah. But to the person, there's only 1 person watching right now, and that's indicating it on both devices, which makes me think Dallas may have went. Can you at least say it's me watching? So that I know whether it's Dallas or not. Like, she hasn't been shy. I think she would say so. But it seems as if I maybe said something that annoyed her. And the only thing that I'm seeing is that she thought that or he. Sorry, I keep thinking as if... I wonder if that's part of it. I mean, I think that's, you could just tell me what gender you prefer, and doesn't have to be then I'll know, I mean, I guess I don't have, even though I relate to the concept a little bit, I don't have a lot of practice talking to someone who's non-binary. Well, I mean, I guess I've come across some in some online support groups, but, so it'd be a little bit tricky for me if somebody's very like, well, when I'm representing, but at the same time, I don't know. It isn't a complicated thing to... you know, people that they are and aren't perhaps complicated to talk to because they are, and some of them are maybe a little uptight about it. And I don't mean to be mean when I say that, but some of them are, I mean, I get it. If you're trying to represent in one way more stronger than the other way, maybe this is just coming from me who, is mostly fairly masculine. So anytime I may seem a bit effeminate, I'm still okay if somebody thinks I'm also masculine. I don't know, something I maybe might like to talk about with more people that are and kind of get their perspectives. But so I don't know if it's that. I mean, if she isn't still here, but now there's three. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to get to a place where I feel like I've figured it out, and it must not be her because it still says one over here. Where I try, and now it says one over here, where I try and figure it out, and I really don't know what would have been such a big problem about me accidentally calling them by their wife's name, whether they're male or female themselves. Like, I really don't understand. And it looks like I might not have the answer tonight, because I think she went offline. Luckily, I do know about her from another streamer whose chat I look at and take and participate in sometimes. So she said she was tired, and technically so am I, but she couldn't have just answered me on this and then went to sleep. I don't like making people mad or upset or feeling that they're mad or upset at me. I mean, that's not what I'm here to do, and that's not what I like to do. But I'm not going to go on about it too much longer. And I appreciate that there's someone else who's been sitting here listening to me ramble on about this and possibly some of the other stuff. And I would like to invite you into the conversation, but I believe I'd asked if you could say whether it, But again, it would... Okay. Well, now it says 2 on both. So I'm wondering if Dallas said, okay, when I left, he felt a little bit confused. And I'm going to try and clarify for him. So I'm going to give this another moment here. One of them is... one of them could be, because like if that said just 1 and this said 2, because she's only representing on this one, I would say, okay, she's not here, but they both say 2. So anyway, at this point in time, I'm kind of thinking that there's not much else going to be in this podcast. So unless your name is Dallas, you can go do something else, and I appreciate you being here, but I'm waiting to hear back from one of our commenters. And unless it's Cleo, but then she doesn't show on this one either, I don't think, because I've already noticed that. So, okay, we've got one that is still here, and I don't know why, because only one of you can be Dallas. Unless, watch the other person turn in and say, well, but my name is Dallas too. But I'm not the Dallas you're talking about. Okay, there, thank you. Dallas. Okay, but then it still says 2 over here. 1 over here and 2 over here. And it didn't just change. It went to 1 there. Dallas, are you here? Okay, I'll relax. Basically, I just want to know, are we good? What happened? What I might do, I don't know if I wrap this one up, well, the comment might still come afterwards then. But that's fine. I really don't want to keep this podcast going any longer tonight. And, if I do, other people are going to tune in. And I would hate for that to be their first time coming into the channel, where I'm just trying to kind of figure something out with one particular viewer. And, the only way I kind of have to do that is via the video. And it doesn't really apply to the rest of you in any way, I don't think. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. But I hope that I connect with him or her, at some point again soon and figure this out. But I'm glad that I said that, because it's true. I'm glad that I said, I'm not here to upset or frustrate or annoy anybody. And, if I do that, it's not my intent. And if even still you feel it, well then, you might just not be meant to see my videos. But I mean, I'm very diverse, and I do think that for the most part, I'm pretty easy to talk with and get along with, and I think most people would enjoy them. If they saw them, if they gave them, a fair amount of time to do so, I think that they would find something to like and conversation worth having. I'm not trying to toot my own bugle, but I do feel that. So it's interesting that while also following on this one, I haven't seen anybody else's comments other than her, other than the ones that I do see on this one. Whoops. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. It says 1 on both now, and I'm really tired. So, bye. Take care, everybody.